Hello and welcome to floor number 2 in my Kingdom Hearts RE Chain of Memories walkthrough. Now, when you get to floor 2, you'll notice that this game has a Mega Man choose your own stage. Now, each stage has its own keyblade card to collect, its own boss card, sometimes a summons card, as well as its own sleight to learn from the blue treasure chest. I should have gone over this in the beginning little pre-video that I planned to do, but just a refresher. So which one am I going to choose first? I always go with Olympus Coliseum. Sorry. Now you're going, Tommy, that's not the first stage in the original Kingdom Hearts. The first stage you go to is Wonderland. Again, go back to that pre-video if you haven't watched it. Big mistake you can make is to assume that this game plays like the original. You should go in the same order. You should use the same sleights and spells. That's a good recipe to get your butt kicked in Chain of Memories. So go with Olympus Coliseum first. I'll tell you why. It's got a really good sleight that you can learn from the treasure chest. You get the Cloud Summon card, which is really useful summon card. Hades isn't a bad card to put in your deck, and you'll also get the Olympian keyblade, which is also a fairly good keyblade to put in your deck. So, you really don't have any reason to not choose this level first. It's not too hard. It does have 2 bosses, but neither one of them are that challenging. So pick Olympus Coliseum. And as a further warning, do not, and I repeat, do not choose Wonderland in RE Chain of Memories until after you have beaten Monstro. The boss in Wonderland can be extremely hard without the high jump ability that you pick up in Monstro. If you're playing the GBA version and are trying to follow me, you won't get the high jump in that version, so it doesn't really matter. But if you're playing the PS2 or PS3 version, wait until after you beat Monstro to try Wonderland. Anyways, your first objective of this stage is to find something called a Calm Bounty card, which you just saw me pick up there, hopefully. My video recorder kind of screwed up and my video editor's letting me know it. But anyways, you'll learn something called a Blizzard Raid in this stage. It is just one Blizzard card plus 2 Keyblade cards right after it. It'll cost Sora to throw the Keyblade like he did just there. It's a pretty powerful ice attack, and the good news is your deck should already be set up to use it pretty easily from the get-go. It's one of the reasons why I chose this stage. I like that move. It's a really good sleight move to have starting off with. Anyways, your second story room, the room where you use the Silver Heart card, will have a battle with Cloud. He's really not that hard. Most of his special moves pretty much just strike in front of him. So if you see him about to swing, just run away, pretty easy. You do have to worry about his Sonic Blade, which he can do several times with just one attack. Again, if you have a higher card, just break it and you won't have to worry about it. The only attack you need to be concerned about is the Omni Slash, which will allow him to fly around and smack you several times. Again, 0 cards are your friend in this one. So if you see him starting to power that up, just throw a 0 card. It'll stop it right in the tracks. If not, dodge roll can usually get you away from that attack as soon as he starts swinging, but you're better off breaking it. Your reward for this fight is something called High Potion. Do I recommend putting it in your deck? Not really. What High Potion does is it refreshes all your Keyblade cards in your deck, whether they've been used in a sleight or not. So that means if you expended cards in a sleight, you get them back if this card goes off right. Pretty useful. The problem is it takes a lot more CP than your regular potion, and right now we don't have a lot of attack sleights that are really worth using if you ask me. So I don't really recommend putting it in your deck right now, and by the time you might want to use it or have a really big need for it, you might have something called an elixir, which works on both attack and magic cards in the same way. Still not a bad card if you want to use it and you have the card points to put in your deck. Go ahead. Now, using the very last door in this floor will take you to a boss fight with Hades. Much like Cloud, he's been much nerfed from his original Kingdom Hearts form. You'll still recognize the moves, but they don't do quite as much damage, and thanks to the new card break system, they're all easy to counter. His number one move you'll have to watch out for as far as slights is called Temper Flare. You won't see a good image of that in this video because I kind of broke them all when he used them. But basically, if you've played the original Kingdom Hearts, that's where he goes right into the middle of the stadium and then shoots out fire from his arms. It's a lot faster in this one, so you won't be able to just run around him. But you can break it with a zero, so it doesn't really hurt you. The other one you'll have to watch out for, and you've seen it in this clip, is the Fire-Ball. That's where he throws those big red round fireballs. Those are a lot harder to break. I recommend trying to dodge roll away from them than trying to mess with a way to find to break them. Basically, again, when he's not using slides, just pick a high card and smack him with it. He's also weak against Blizzard. So if you have a Blizzard card in your deck, feel free to use it along with Blizzard Raid, which you picked up in this stage. Just be careful so he doesn't break it like he did to me here. Just to let you know, enemies can use those zero cards to break any of your slights too, so it works both ways. Normally, though, they don't break them as often as you will, so it's not much to worry about. He got in a lucky shot stopping that Blizzard Raid, basically. If it had gone through and hit him again, he probably would have been killed right then and there. But he goes down without a fight and a few more hits. I'm able to finish him off once and for all. Your reward for beating him is the Hades card. This is the Berserk move ability that you're able to learn in the original Kingdom Hearts. It's not exactly the world's most useful ability, but if you have the card points to put in your deck, it's not the worst card you could put in your deck. Basically, if you're low on health, it increases the damage you'll do when you use keyblade cards. Like I said, you'll find other boss cards a lot more useful going on, but he might not be a bad one to put in now if you're having trouble and want to boost your attack. Again, this is your deck you're building. I'm just giving suggestions. After a cutscene, you will get a Cloud card too. What does Cloud do? Basically, summoning him into battle will allow him to do the moves that he used against you in your fight minus Sonic Blade. One card will allow him to pop up and slash. 2 cards will do cross slash. And 3 cards will release the Omni Slash. In the GBA version, Omni Slash was a really killer move that did strong damage even to some of the later bosses. In this one, it's been nerfed quite a bit. It's kind of slow. You have to press triangle at the right time to keep it up. It still does decent damage, but it's not as good a move as it was in the GBA. Still, Cloud is a good summon card to have, and there's other slights that you'll unlock other than his basic moves there. And we'll get to those when I unlock them. Finally, let's talk about a few of the enemies and other obstacles you might find in the stage. If you use Looming Darkness or Teeming Darkness, watch out for those statues. They shoot arrows that will confuse you, and the effect will last once you get into real combat as well. That said, it won't affect the way your slights work, so use a summon or a strong spell like I'm doing here, and you'll finish them off. I should note that some of this footage here comes from me playing through this stage again to get to the Room of Rewards. You won't be able to do the tornado sight that you see or the Omni Slash the first time through the stage. Just thought I should tell you that in case there's any confusion on why you can't do that move. Now, there are three new types of enemies in this stage that you should look out for. First are these monkeys. The blue monkeys will do a power slide type attack towards you. And they're a little bit of a pain, but they're not too big of a problem. Any type of attack will finish them off. You do have to look out for the girl monkeys. They will use slingshots and banana peels, though, to knock you down. The other enemies to watch out for are the fat bandits. They can block any regular move to the front. That said, using slights usually finishes them off. You can also attack normally from the back. So what will you get if you come back here several floors from now once you get a key to rewards card? Well, the answer is the metal Chewbacca card that Cloud gave you in the original one. Again, it's not a bad card, but I don't really focus too much on my keyblades. Rather than worrying about the strength of an individual key, I just worry about having a varied deck of them. If you think this one will be useful for your deck, add it. I personally stick to keys from the first few stages because they have lower CP, but each person will develop their own playstyle.